what are your memories of starting the book, coming up with the idea?
Well, very, very, very briefly, I was madly, madly, madly in love with horses, and I used to do show jumping, and I had a friend called Jane, and Jane had a pony called Gildy, and Gildy was very hopeless. And so I said, "Oh, get off, Jane. I'll take Gildy over the parallel bars." Gildy fell. I fell into the parallel bars, and I dislocated my arm. The hospital trapped the nerve, and I was paralysed for 2 years. So I never was able to show jump again. And I think the only true paradises in life are those we have lost. And so I decided to write a novel. Even then, I was scribbling away when I was a teenager, and so and then so I just kept going really, so I could go back to show jumping because I missed it so much.
And in the reissued Riders for the anniversary, you talk in the introduction about, I think it was something like 15 years you were working on this. Were
Yeah,
you working on it for 15 years,
well,
or
no,
did it take? Oh, you
no,
were.
no, I had this embarrassing thing. I took it out to lunch to write the last chapter and got rather drunk with a friend. And coming back home on the bus, because I couldn't afford a taxi, I left it on the bus. Can you imagine? So I lost this great big fat novel after about 4 years. And so it took me about 10 years to rewrite. And so finally it came out in 1985. Can you imagine? So some West
And
Indian bus conductor must be.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine the horror of it. And that thing you left on the bus, was it typewritten? Was it
Yes, typed
handwritten?
out, all typed out, all typed. Yes, it was typed out. It was awful, awful. Because I can't do computers and things, so it was typed out. So it went, it's gone. Really sad. But anyway, it was better because it was much better by the end. Because it was a better book by the end because it was more finished.
Because reading the book, it strikes me you can find I sense you becoming more confident as the book comes on.
Did
Like,
you?
I notice there are more, I don't know if this is your recollection of it, but like there are more jokes as it goes along. You become braver. The sex scenes become more
Ah,
explicit,
sex
franker.
scenes.
Was that
I was
you?
Well, I haven't read the book for. It was also very sweet of you to ask me on your program. Was I went back and read it, and I haven't read it for 20 years. I must say, I was horrified by the sex. I mean, it's great sex, but I mean, gosh, that I knew those things. I'm 85 now, and I'd forgotten how to do it now. And so the sex is amazing.
Well,
I mean,
no, because it starts, but it's interesting that you reread it. Did you not think in the beginning those sorts of scenes were quite tame, and
yes,
by the end,
yes,
well, it was
yes.
very frank.
I'm just amazed. I mean, I think it was just different then, don't you? I think you also probably weren't born, but in the sort of 70s, there was an awful lot of sex going on, and I think it just got into the book, really.